Hi, Ed Bixby from the Better Death Collective here at the First Congregational Church Cemetery in Kittery, Maine. So we're going to take a look at some of the interesting headstones they have.
As the cemetery predates the Revolutionary War, it contains many colonial headstones. During the colonial era, it was common practice to inscribe epitaphs and symbols into cemetery headstones as a way to memorialize individuals, but also to communicate with people in the future, such as ourselves. One of the most common and one of the oldest headstone symbols utilized during this time is something known as the death's head, which is also referred to as the winged skull. This symbol made its appearance in 1678 by the stonecutter of Boston, who is best known for the major artistic changes he made to tombstone designs. As the symbol emerged during the age of early Orthodox Puritanism, it mostly appears on headstones of those who identify with Puritan beliefs. The general belief is that the death's head simply represents the death of an individual buried below it. However, others speculate that the skull represents physical death while the wings symbolize spiritual regeneration. The symbol reflects the communion of life, death, and what lies beyond in a 17th/18th century Puritan perspective. This symbol is most prevalent in colonial burial grounds across New England. However, you can still find them sporadically in historic cemeteries in eastern United States. Soon, a different variation of the death's head popped up on headstones known as the winged cherub. As you can see, instead of a skull, there is a human face between two wings. This more friendly version of the death's head began to appear on headstones as Puritanism declined, as the Puritans were against attributing humans to spiritual beings. This symbol doesn't make a direct reference to death and instead symbolizes the soul's flight to heaven. Another popular symbol is the willow and the urn, which appeared in the mid-18th century. These symbols carry a multitude of meanings, as Christians associated the willow with immortality, as represented by the tree's ability to live no matter how many branches were cut off. Others suspect that the symbol actually goes back to Roman times, as Romans used urns to store cremains, and the willow was associated with Persephone, the goddess of the underworld. Combined, these symbols represented the soul's journey from the earthly realm to the heavenly realm. The third most popular meaning associated with these symbols is eternal mourning, so as you can see, it's truly up to an individual interpretation. Lastly, one of the most interesting symbols that we saw in this cemetery was the lamb, which dates back to the 1800s. The lamb represents innocence and mostly appears on the headstones of children, typically infants. In this case, as you can see, there are two lambs lying next to each other, representing the two children that rest in this gravesite. In conclusion, you can learn a lot about the individuals that lived before you in your town simply by analyzing their headstones. Not only that, but you gain interesting insight as to how people expressed themselves back then and how this has changed or stayed the same in current times. Stay tuned for some more neat headstone videos and cemetery tours in the future.